How are they able to sell this driver for $149.99? Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here in Cheltenham. I found the driver finally. $149.99 retail sporting goods from this store just here, Decathlon. I did a bit of this in lockdown because golf clubs were just a nightmare to get hold of, and Decathlon were producing some good value clubs. But what I want to know today is $149.99 for this driver. Is it good value now? Versus other options, second-hand clubs for £149, Ben Ross options at £149. If you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully it's in here. Guys, I am so relieved that it is here on the shelf. It was literally just leaning to in the rack here. $149.99. I'm going to get the head cover off, show you, unwrap it when we get to the golf course. But from first glance, it actually looks like a half decent quality product. I mean, this ain't no cheap manufacturer when it comes to shaft. I remember having to pay £250 for an upgraded Elements shaft when I got custom fitted for my 913. I think it was my UST Earth Element shaft, which was, well, looking back at it, quite overpriced. Grip in decent condition. As I say, overall, aesthetically, as £149 retail sporting goods drivers go, first appearance quite good. Right guys, back down here at Sanford, and before we go and test this and hit this on the golf course, I had a few suspicions about this shaft, and I want to show you a couple of clips from TXG's review that they did. Very good video, highly recommend going and watching it after this one, obviously. And they made a couple of good points which I really want to talk about.
This driver is what, 220 Canadian, which is, I want to say, about a third of the price of most top drivers now.
Honestly, I mean,
it's one third of the price.
That shaft in any aftermarket store is more than that. You can go to their website and kit yourself out top to bottom. You can buy clubs, shoes, a rangefinder, bags. You can take a travel bag if you're going to go on a wee trip. You've got couple of dozen balls for your trip. Top to bottom, head to toe.
You're absolutely right. You can't say that about anything else. Head to toe, shirt, everything, ball retriever.
One-stop shop. Make it easy on yourself.
Now, the two really good points that I thought both the boys made was, one, many people would have spent a fortune on this shaft once upon a time. I believe it potentially came out in 2017. And if this was going into a TaylorMade driver, if this was going into a Callaway, a Ping, had the adapter on the end of it, you got great numbers, and the gentleman that was fitting you went, it's actually £100 upgrade on top of the driver itself, there would have been a lot of people that would have pulled the trigger. Not only that, I'm going to show you some eBay listings now. One recently sold, uncut, brand new, 46 inches long for £100 shaft alone. Which begs the question on point number 2, which again the boys pointed out, Inesis themselves sell everything. Balls, tees, clothes, bags, footwear, and they are targeted at that beginner entry point, someone that's just getting into the game. So if you sell them a very good value set of clubs, driver with a great shaft, irons with great shaft, heads of quality, the wedges work, the putter is good, you're more likely to then support and buy the good value and potentially higher margin equipment such as clothes, bags and balls. Interesting. Time to take the wrapper off and show exactly what we've bought and give it a good old hit to see if it is indeed good value. I mean, the shaft alone, to some people watching this video, they might be slightly crying knowing how much they paid. And does it show a bit of epoxy and a farcical in the golf game? Shafts, how much you pay for shafts, because this was sitting in a store in Cheltenham where no one was touching it, and halfway across the world there will be people that have paid a lot of money, and I was one of them. I've bought one of these before, not this exact one, but I've paid upwards of £200 on a driver shaft. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So my chosen competitor for the second-hand market, the PXG 0211. This bad boy second-hand retails for about £140 to £160 easily. And the whole point is that I need to give you a second-hand option that is readily available at £150, because you can get this, buy this, it will turn up, delivered X, Y, and Z for £149.99. So there's no point me finding one Ping G400, do you know what I mean, for £140, and no one else can. That's why the O211 is a good option. Also, interestingly, £50 more, you could choose your head, you can choose your shaft, you can choose the length of the shaft, you can get it custom built. Wait time's going to be a bit longer, but then you're going to get the same warranty as you would with this. Interesting little comparison. Now, side by side, obviously these don't match up. We've got different shafts. We've got a 9-degree head versus a 12-degree head. To make the point between brand new, ease of use, someone starting the game, knows nothing about golf clubs, just wants to get something, put it in the bag, off you go, better than Grandad's set, versus potentially someone that's been around the game a bit longer, wants to upgrade, wants to spend a bit of money, wants to retain value, and you've got the option. Second hand, £150, brand new, £150.
One shot into wind, one shot downwind, and just overall impressed with this driver. From the grip to the shaft to the head, it sounds great, it feels great. It doesn't feel like a bargain basement driver. That being said though, it's still £149.99, and they've had to cut costs somewhere, and I don't think it's necessarily the equipment. It's more about cutting out the middleman. It's not going from them to a pro shop or them to a custom fitter, and every time you have that process and more people involved, the price keeps going up. That's how I think they're able to sell this for £149.99. But if you were just to walk in there for the first time ever, want to upgrade your club, whatever it might be, and you want to ask someone around the shop, should I get a regular, should I get a stiff, should I get the hybrid with it, should I get the fairway wood, I don't think there's going to be many people to help you. Therefore, it's still quite a bit of a punt if you haven't got a video like this or you haven't seen reviews on the products to go, yeah, okay, I'll spend £149.99 on a brand that I haven't really heard of, and to be honest, if I don't get on with it, will anyone want it off after me? And the same can't be said for the PXG counterpart, and the reason being that if I recommend you as a beginner, entry level, to trust me and go and buy a second-hand PXG O211 for 130, 140, 150, 160 pounds, there's going to be bundles of choice for that. If you don't get on with it, you don't pick the right shaft, you don't pick the right loft, whatever it might be, you will be able to get 130, 140, 150 pounds back for that club. Bit of time, bit of effort, boxing up, you know the business, but you're not going to lose much money. I do have to go out on a bit of a limb to then say to that same entry-level golfer, go and buy this Inesis 500 driver at £149.99. You don't necessarily have the same guarantee, and it's exactly the same reason why I very rarely recommend any brand new club at £450 for a brand new golfer, is that if your swing was to change, if you were able to get a bit faster, potentially work on a bit with a coach, this Inesis 500, which would have worked great when you had this massive slice or you couldn't get it up in the air, 2 months later doesn't work for you whatsoever. Just balloons go massively high, and therefore who do you then move it on to? Or do you just swallow that £150 lesson? I think the product itself is very high quality. I'm amazed that they're able to produce something like this for £149.99 retail. But then again, my worry, just like all golf clubs, how long will it last in your golf bag? And here highlights the importance of finding that right combination. Absolutely flushed the Inesis all the way down in. To be honest, on a normal day, I'd be very happy with this drive, but you can see it's almost carried and then spun back that distance with the driver, meaning that the launch is too high, the spin is too high, but it's not built for me. The PXG 9-degree with a Hazard 6.0 is definitely a lot more my type. This has gone comfortably 25 yards further and on the upslope as well. So if this was a flat fairway, it would have gone even further. It's difficult to know which one I swung faster, but this one here actually is an inch shorter in shaft length. I'm not saying the Inesis head is bad in any shape or form. I'm just trying to highlight how important launch and spin is. Ultimately, what I am fascinated by is a product that is able to be produced at £149.99 retail without scrimping on the quality. You've got a quality grip, you've got a quality shaft, you've got a quality head, and to be honest, I'm pretty sure PXG, Callaway, Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, all the others would be able to produce exactly the same if they themselves cut out the middleman. You've seen PXG a lot this year reduce clubs at prices by just going direct to consumer and not going through a club fitter, not going through a pro shop. And every time that product touches hands, someone's having to make margin somewhere. I'm not saying this is going to be the best alternative for every entry-level golfer there is. I'm just excited that there is another entry point and what potentially can be achieved, and incredibly excited to see what might come out in the future from Inesis themselves. Guys, if you like this video, leave it a like. Subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.